Expanding double brackets. When you see these type of question in an exam, it normally says expand and simplify. Similar to expanding brackets where it's just one, you expand it, but this time we're doing two brackets and then simplifying. You will need to know multiplying terms, so I recommend watching my multiplying terms video to help you, because that's a skill you really need for this one. Okay, so how is it done? What it basically means is everything in this bracket multiplied by everything in this bracket. So basically a little multiply sign there. You know, does it need to be there to show you that? But that's basically what it means. It's this bracket multiplied by this bracket. So you've got to do x times x, and that'll get us x squared. And we use two different colours to make it easier. And then you're going to do x times 4. This is called the claw method that I've shown you with my expanding single brackets video. So x times 4, which is 4x. And in this video as well, I am going to show you a faster way of doing this and a little trick, which hopefully you might see while going through this. And you go to 2 times x, which is 2x, and then 2 times 4, which is 8. Now for this bit here, I'll recommend if you haven't done so, watch my video on collecting like terms, where it's really simplify algebraic terms written like this. Right, so this time you are just collecting what you already have. So the x squared will stay as it is because you've only got one of those, but you can put together these ones, so these x's, so 4x plus 2x. When I circle it, I always make sure I get the little plus in front of it. So 4x plus 2x is 6x, and then this 8 is just left by itself, so just plus 8. And that's that one done. If you haven't already done so, I recommend writing that down so you've got a really good example, and then pause the video, have a go at this one using this as your example. But you have got a minus, so be really careful. So you should have paused the video and had a go at this question. Right, let's go through it. So remember, x times x is x squared. I always recommend, like in my last video, writing your x's like this. Don't do your x's like multiply signs because it can get very confusing if not, okay? Especially when you've got a lot of numbers and letters going everywhere now, it can get really confusing quite quickly. X times minus 1, be really careful, okay? X times 1 is just x, x times minus 1 is minus x. That applies to any number as well. If it was p times minus 1, m times minus 1, okay? Right, so now we are going to do 5 times x, which will get us 5x. And then 5 times minus 1, which would be minus 5. And then that's the expand part, so that's this little part, and now the simplifying bit. So if there's an exam, you'd already get 1, maybe 2 marks, depending on if it was a bit more challenging than multiplying, but definitely at least 1 mark for getting this. And then your simplifying is your next mark. So the x squared stays as it is because there's only one x squared. Don't do this, mate, a lot of students do. You think x squared minus x is x, well it's not, okay? Because x squared minus x squared will be 0, but because there's no square in it, it just stays. It can't simplify, okay, any further. And then, this is a bit a lot of students get stuck with. Minus x plus 5x. See it as what's minus 1, add 5, which will be positive 4. So it's plus 4x. And then, you've got minus 5 on its own at the end. There you go. 2 examples, write them down, and let's go through a few more examples written slightly different. 2 more questions, slightly different. So you see here, this one's got a little squared, and this one's got 2 negatives, okay? So pause the video, have a go at these 2 questions and see how far you can get, okay? Pause it, have a go. Let's go through them. Right, so same again. I've used m's this time instead of x's, because it can be any way in an exam and we have to prepare and not just get carried away, oh, it's always X or Y's. No, it can be any letter. As I've said before in previous videos, m times m, that will get us m squared. So still gets m squared. M times m is the same as x times x, y times y. That doesn't change. M multiplied by minus 3 gets us minus 3m. Now, minus 5 times m, which is minus 5m. This is the part now where most students will make a mistake, okay? All the time it happens, and it's fine, just being aware of it. Minus 5 times minus 3 is plus 15, okay? A negative number multiplied by another negative makes a positive answer. And now, let's bring it all together. And the m squared stays as it is, and then it is minus 3m minus 5m. This pen's going. And then we have our plus 15 by itself. So m squared minus 8m plus 15. And this next one, you're going, right, it's not m times 2 or 4 times 2. Yeah, that's a big mistake that a lot of people make. And the square means times by itself. So you can rewrite this as m plus 4, m plus 4. Okay? Remember, it's just understanding that the square means times by itself. And then you just follow the process. So it's m times m, which is m squared, m times 4, which is 4m, and then 4 times m, which is the same as m times 4, plus 4m, and then 4 times 4, which is 16. And then you just simplify it. M squared stays as it is, so it's plus 4m, and the 16 is by itself. That's m squared plus 8m plus 16. Okay, right, now I'm going to show you the trick, okay? If you like the video so far, hit the like button or leave me a comment so that way I know how to improve it for you next time. The feedback is greatly appreciated. Now, I'm going to show you the trick to do these really quick so you can impress your teachers, okay? This is what eventually I want my students to get to, the point I want to get where they discover this for themselves, so they're doing all the working out. Which you still need to do in an exam, but for some big questions where you just need the answer quickly to get onto the rest of it, you can use this method. So all you have to do for this, instead of doing all the multiplying of individual bit, all you do, because it's x and x, so you know it's going to be x squared, and then all you do is 5 add 4, which is 9, so it'll be plus 9x, and then 5 multiplied by 4, which is 20. And that, if you expanded it, did the full bit before like we did last time, you'll get that. And that's a really fast maths hack that you can do. Because I know we all love maths hacks, yeah, we all love doing tricks, tips, do anything faster. That works the same with all of them. X times x will be x squared. 8 minus 2 is 6x. 8 times minus 2 is minus 16. Be really careful with negatives. Next one. Remember, it's squared, so it's that bracket multiplied by itself. So it's going to be x squared. 7 add 7 will be 14. And then 7 multiplied by 7 is 49. Right, next one. Even with negatives, it still works the same. Just be careful with negatives. Because it's an m, make sure you do m squared. Now minus 3, minus 6. Be really careful, it's not 3, it's minus 9m. Now minus 3 multiplied by minus 6 is plus 18. So that is a fast hack to do this really quickly. Be careful though, because this doesn't work when there's a number in front of that x, which will be another video I'll do it. It's called when the coefficient is more than 1. So this only works with these types of expanding double bracket questions. This has been expanding and simplifying double brackets. Hopefully you learned something and you have something to take away back to the classroom to impress your mates, impress your teacher. Hopefully I will see you next time on the next video with Master Jacko.